I don't have a therapist, but I am pretty sure that if I had one, we would have talked about this the minute that it happened. And it's something that is probably going to haunt me forever. But today I'm going to talk about what really went down at the Paris Marathon 2025. Get your popcorn, get your metro car, omni car if you're commuting to work, if you're cleaning the house, get on motivated because this is going to be probably a long episode, but I'm going to be very detailed on what went down at the Paris Marathon. So let's rewind. First of all, before I rewind, this is Paula. Welcome to One More Mile podcast, where we talk about life experiences. And this is more of a testament of failing to succeed. It's necessary to have failures in your life in order to succeed, or at least that's what I like to see. And especially as something as big as my first marathon ever in Paris. Let's just debrief on this. If you're watching on YouTube, you are probably seeing me right now with my with my Paris hat that I got in Paris and with my Paris Marathon finisher medal because I'm prepared for this one, okay? Okay, I've been running for, I think it's about 2 years now, maybe a little bit more, 2 years and a half, I don't know. And I decided to do the New York City Marathon. I'm doing that one this year, November 2025. But before that, I got a little crazy and my husband wanted to go to Paris. And I'm like, if I'm already going to be in another continent, why don't try to do a marathon there? So I signed up. I told 2 of my friends. They came along with me. They tagged along. So we did the marathon. It was my idea. I went cuckoo. They followed with it. It was nice. I decided to do a 22-week training block because I have never run a marathon before. I only did a bunch of half marathons, and I knew I needed all of the condition to build in that period. So I did 22 weeks. I did 10 weeks with ChatGPT, not recommend, and 12 weeks with Rana, 100% recommend. Super personalized plan, speed, tempo, everything, long runs, everything was going well. The last month before I went to Paris, I decided to go to Ecuador just to visit my family. I spent a week there and I got to run there and train there. I did a long run. I did 12 miles in there, even though I was supposed to do 16. But the elevation was crazy and I still felt good with the elevation. So I was feeling pretty confident that the marathon was going to be easy peasy because if you train in Quito, you can run anywhere. That elevation is crazy. So I was feeling confident. My legs were feeling fine. I wasn't injured. I had a little bit of discomfort here and there, but no serious injuries. I was good. My nutrition was good. I tried everything. I tried candies, I tried fruits, I tried granola bars. At the end, I stuck with some gels that I did my last long run, and I took like 4 gels and my pace was definitely good. So I felt confident that I was gonna rock that marathon. And after I came back from Ecuador, I spent like a few days in New York and I was feeling fast as fuck. And before Paris, me and my husband were going to go to Portugal to visit my aunt. So we packed our bags, we went there. I had a run in Portugal as well, feeling confident, feeling nice. And again, I don't know if what happened to me in Paris was all of the things combined. Probably the nerves of my first marathon, all of the exhaustion that my body had. I was exhausted. All the traveling that I did in the past month. I went to like 3 countries. The food, I wasn't eating food at home. I don't know what was it, but I just know that something wasn't right. In Portugal, I was feeling great. I did a cold plunge in the ocean and I was drinking tap water. Now, Dulo's my husband. He thinks that I got sick because of that, of drinking tap water in Europe. I drink tap water everywhere. I drink tap water in New York. I drink tap water in Ecuador. But again, I was raised in Ecuador. So again, maybe it was the tap water. I don't know. It could be a lot of things. My dad thinks that it could be the cold plunge that I did in the ocean in Portugal. Because first of all, it wasn't like a beach that you go. It was just like, not like doing a cold plunge in the Hudson River in Manhattan, but kinda. He said that it was contaminated, but a lot of people were doing cold plunges that day. So again, I don't think it was that. I'm just taking a bunch of theories that people could have said. But we powered through. We left Portugal. The food was good in Portugal. I have zero complaints. Love it. And then we arrived to Paris. First day we arrived to Paris. We're tired. We've been traveling for like I've been traveling for the past month, right? Ecuador, New York, Quito, blah, blah, blah. So we arrived to Paris. We checked in the hotel. That it was a hotel that we had to book like in the spot, because it wasn't the hotel of the marathon. So we booked a different hotel close to the other hotel. We were meeting up with my friends over there, but we went for dinner first. Now, the first dinner, first of all, I'm in love with the city. I arrived in Paris and I immediately wanted to move there. I'm like, this is the city of my dreams. Everything looks so pretty. I want to take pictures of everything. I can see myself living here a long time. I'm like, let's just move. But again, I haven't tried the food yet. So we arrived at this restaurant. It is a really nice restaurant, kind of like steaks. I had a French onion soup. I know, super touristic. And then we ordered like this salmon tartare, which was just guacamole with like 2 pieces of salmon. And it wasn't great. Like, the restaurant wasn't great. But again, I'm just there for the vibes. I'm just like, my first time in Paris. I'm taking pictures of everything. It was overpriced. We're like, okay, tourist camp, whatever. Let's just keep on rolling. We go meet up with my friends and we go to a jazz bar, jazz club kind of thing, speakeasy. We had a great time there. I had a virgin mojito. We stayed late that day. I think it was like until 11:30 something. And my friends wanted to go on a run the next morning. I'm like, I'm not running. I am resting as much as I can for the marathon. Me and Dula went back to the hotel, and we had like a gyro. Yeah, I think it was a gyro or like a shawarma type of thing before heading to the hotel. Everyone had the same food that day. Like, everyone had the gyro, so I don't think it was that. Again, I didn't have a lot of rest because the next morning we were gonna do tourist stuff. So again, woke up early the next day, day 2 in Paris. We went to this basilic. Is like a very, very famous one. I forgot the name. Sorry about that. But it's where they scam all the people and they make you sign the things and then they give you the bracelet and they rob you. We went to that place. I really didn't want to go. I was going to Paris without an itinerary. I was going with just the vibes. Kind of like just take a train and go wherever. I know I wanted to go to certain places, but I didn't have a list. Kind of like in other places that I go to. And Dulo was very like, oh no, we have to go do this, and this. So we were on different vibes. And as much as we enjoyed the trip a lot, we were fighting a lot. So that could have added up into what happened to me at the marathon, because it wasn't like relaxed. It wasn't a trip as other trips that we had that were like, oh, this is relaxing, we're vacationing. It was more of like, I don't want to do this. Why do I have to do this if you want to do this? Why? Well, I came all the way to support you for a marathon and I'm not even running. So it was like fighting. And that is completely normal. Like, if you travel with your partner, girlfriend, spouse, whatever, you're going to fight eventually. As long as you keep it respectful and you don't yell and you don't hurt each other. But we had disagreements in where to go. So I didn't want to go to this basilic thing and I didn't want to go do certain stuff, but I went because he came to the marathon. Okay. So my mood was immediately like, I gotta go do these things that I really don't want to do. After that, we went to Galeries Lafayette. It was so pretty. It reminded me of working at the biggest mazes in the world. It was like the same thing, retail store, but like super, super pretty, tourist trap. Not tourist trap, but like super touristy. We bought some things, we took pictures. And by that time, I am like, okay, we haven't had breakfast. I think we didn't have breakfast. Or maybe we did. We did because we switched hotels. But I was getting hungry and it was hot. That day was hot. I'm like, why is it so hot if the day before was cold? Like the day before we were all wearing jackets, like leather jackets. And this day was like summertime. I'm like, please, I don't understand. So I was getting, this is a parenthesis, but ever since I was little, I have suffered from migraines every time when I went to high school or school, middle school, and there was a lot of sun. I will get like kind of like a heat wave in my body. Like my nose will bleed. I will get a migraine. I will have to go home, shower, refresh. I don't do well with the heat. Ever since I was little, I never got it checked. Maybe I should do that. But I was feeling like that. I am like, I'm not feeling good. I need to go. We need to go eat. We need to find water because this is too much. So we went to a restaurant. We had food there. It was like a very local Parisian restaurant. The food was not good. Again, we had like a pasta with chicken. It wasn't good. I have to be honest, it wasn't good. I don't know if we were going to like the places that are tourist camps, but I couldn't do it. And after that, we went to the Louvre. We went to the museum, and you can put your relationship to the test. If you survive more than 2 hours in the Louvre, you're meant to be with each other, because we wanted to kill each other at that point. We saw the Mona Lisa, and then I'm like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. He's like, no, I want to go see this exhibit. He's very like that into museums. I'm like, I enjoy it for like 45 minutes, and then I have to leave because this is not my thing. We saw the museum. We're there for like 2 hours. There's no water. There wasn't kind of like in New York, like the Med, where you can like find a coffee shop or like water, like a vending machine with water in every floor. There was not a single. That thing is huge. I'm like, let me out of here. I want to get out. But we were able to get out the Louvre. We bought some macaroons. We got water. We went to the hotel. And at this point, I'm feeling bad. Like, I'm feeling weak and I'm feeling super hot. Dulo touches me and he's like, you have a fever. I'm having a fever in Paris. I'm like, great. This is great. 3 days out from the marathon. What am I going to do? I'm in another country. And I'm feeling sick. Like when you feel your body getting sore and like you just want to sleep and be pampered by your mommy. And my friends were going to go to this track that you can see the Eiffel Tower while you run. I really wanted to go there. That was the main reason that I wanted to go on this trip, the marathon and that track. So I wasn't going to miss that, but I was feeling super sick. In the same hotel, two of my friends, Walter and Charlie, were staying. So I went into their room to get ready for the run. I napped for like 40 minutes. I go there and they're like, you look like shit. I was looking outrageous. They give me like some pills of like Dayquil and NyQuil to like drink, like Tylenol and stuff. I drink a lot of pills. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna feel better. I got my water and I'm like, let's just go get down with this and like come back and rest because I can't. We went to the track. We had an awesome time. All of my friends that are running the marathon are doing kind of like a shaker run, or I think they even hit like 4 miles. All of my other friends are doing like 4 or 5 miles because they're not running the marathon, so they have all the energy and they want to like put on the mileage. And I'm there. I ran 1 mile and that took me like 40 minutes. I was stopping every time. I was feeling super weak. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to like just sleep and rest. My body was feeling bad. I'm like, guys, we need to get out here. We need to get food and I need to go because I feel bad, really bad. Everyone agrees that I look bad. I look weak. We finished the run and then we went to a restaurant, and in that restaurant, everyone has different stuff. And I got a pasta with salmon and it wasn't looking good. One of my friends, Angie, she also had the same dish and she was like, okay, it didn't look bad to me, but if my mom would have looked at it, she would have definitely said that it was undercooked. For me, it was undercooked. We ate it. We finished the dinner. Was having a great time. When me, Walter, and Charlie are going to our hotel, I tell Walter, I want to throw up. Charlie's like, oh my God, you're pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I wasn't pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I again, I don't know what thing leading up to this was. I don't know what dish was it, but I wanted to throw up. I'm like, I can't. I didn't throw up, but I was feeling bad. We went to the hotel. I immediately get to the hotel. I take a hot shower, and then I'm like, my fever is going crazy. My fever is off the roof. Dula's putting like cold towels on my forehead to kind of like help me ease the fever. I'm calling my mom. I'm like, I don't know what to do. My mom was like, please don't run. Please don't do this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like stressed because I have a marathon in like 2 to 3 days and I'm feeling this way. What am I going to do? Mind you, the next day in Paris, I was gonna meet my friend Emily. Emily lives in Lyon. Emily has been my friend since we were in Ecuador together, and we met in certain parts of the planet, which is just funny. But we were gonna meet in Paris. She took a train from Lyon to meet me in Paris so we could spend together, and like she made the effort, and I failed her because I was dying. I slept for 12 hours. We were supposed to meet at 9 a.m. Thank God she was with one of her friends because we ended up meeting at like 5 p.m. So all of the morning we lost because I was sleeping. Sleeping did help me. I had the worst night ever. I sweat my fever out. I had the craziest dreams, but I had no fever anymore. So for a minute, I'm like, I'm safe. I'm good. This is good. We're going to rock this out. I woke up, had some breakfast in the hotel, went back to sleep. And then around 5, I met up with Emily and her friend, and they were having a picnic. Again, I had some food at that picnic. I had I had some desserts that they had brought and some fruit. And I was feeling super hungry and I was craving homemade food. So we got McDonald's because America, homemade food. We got to get McDonald's. With Emily, I'm feeling good. We're spending a nice day. We took a boat tour on the river. So we were watching everything. We were living the best Emily in Paris fantasy. And as soon as we got into the boat, like before the boat, I'm like, I need a restroom now. Like when you feel your stomach plotting to do number 2, so the whole boat, I went before getting into the boat tour, and then we finished, and then my stomach is again feeling bad, and I'm feeling again like I want to throw up. I'm like, okay, this is not normal. I'm feeling delicate. Maybe it was just the fever. I need to power through. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to stay hydrated, trying to stay positive. I met up with my friends. Emily meets my friends. They went up to the Eiffel Tower. We went out to get hot chocolate, one of the most famous hot chocolate ever. I took 3 sips of the hot chocolate because I knew it was going to be a bad idea. That's why I didn't need the desserts. I didn't need anything. Everything looked phenomenal. I would have loved it if I was healthy and just like vibing in Paris, Gossip Girl vibes. But I was scared for my life. So I only took 2 sips. That's it. Water. I couldn't even watch food. I couldn't even see food because we met up with my friends and we went to have some food. All of us were doing like a carb loading. So we tried to look for like this. It was like an Italian spot. I had a pizza because I had pasta the past few days. The pizza was average. I'm going to say that it was probably the safest thing, except that we got scammed. But that story is on TikTok if you want to see it. We got scammed, but the pizza was average, kind of like eating a dollar slice pizza in New York. So I think that was safe. I didn't feel anything bad later after that pizza. We go to the hotel. We go rest. The next day is shakeout run with Rana in the morning. Now I'm excited. I'm part of Team Rana. Use my code Paula. I'm excited. Shakeout run. I'm excited to participate in these events. I'm excited to see some familiar faces before the marathon. But then again, the whole night, everything went out. This is gonna be TMI, but everything went down. Number 2, but like bad, liquidy. Okay. TMI. We go to the shakeout run with Rana. I'm running like 1.5 mile in. My stomach, it's bad. I want to go to the restroom so bad. And I know it's just going to be painful and it's going to be bad. All of my friends are asking, oh, how do you feel for the marathon? Blah, blah, blah. Everyone is like, oh, I have knee pain. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. There's a video of me in the Rana page being like, I'm scared of throwing up because my stomach was just not having it. And I knew everything was going to be bad. Like, I just felt it. There was nothing for me to, like, fix it. We went to pick up our bibs. And, again, there's no bathroom in the expo. And if there is, the lines are long. I'm like, I need to get out of here. We were all going to go to an Ecuadorian restaurant, like, get dressed, shower. I went, like, with my running clothes. Emily took me, my husband, too. We had encebollado. My stomach appreciated it because there was no chicken soup in all France. I tried to look for chicken soup in every Latin restaurant, in every Uber Eats place. There was just miso soup, and that's not chicken soup. If you know, I'm Hispanic. I need my mom's chicken soup. I was craving that for days. I'm able to hold in encebollado for a little bit. Then I literally forgot what we did. We just came back to the hotel, me and Emily nap. I said bye to Emily. She goes back to Lyon. And I'm talking to Walter and Charlie. And I'm like, guys, I'm like, I can't hold any food together. And I'm scared because I'm getting dehydrated and I'm gonna run a marathon. You're supposed to drink all of the electrolytes. All of my electrolytes are disappearing right now. They're going away on the toilet. So Charlie gives me an anti-diarrhea pill. He gives me 2 or like 3 or 4. I don't know. But he tells me that the doses that I was taking, he's like, take one now and take one in the morning. But make sure to drink a lot of water, because if you don't drink a lot of water, you can go into like cardiac arrest or some shit like that. I'm scared. At this point, I'm like, I've never run a marathon and I don't like to take pills whatsoever. So at this point, I'm like, God. I'm talking to my parents. My mom is like, please don't run. Please don't run tomorrow. My dad is like, don't do this. But even I asked my husband, I'm like, should I just not do this? Like, I'm scared for my safety. At one point, I'm really scared because I don't know if you guys have ever had like diarrhea and fever and your body feels weak and you're food poisoned, but you don't have the energy to do anything. I didn't have the energy to do anything. Rather, just why on earth would I have the energy to run a marathon, right? But I signed up for this. I'm thinking, I'm crying in my hotel room because I feel so bad, physically bad. I can't hold any food. I'm trying to drink my electrolytes and prep for tomorrow, but I just can't hold anything. Every single sip of water that I take is going down the toilet. I'm also scared because I'm in another country. I don't know if I'm gonna end up in the hospital tomorrow when I run the marathon. Also, I'm thinking about all of the hard work that I've done. I put 22 weeks into training. That's a lot. That's a long training block. I was training from like Thanksgiving until like springtime. That's crazy. I was running in the heat. I was running in the cold. I was running with friends. I was running alone. I put on 50 plus miles every week for this thing. I train hard for this marathon. I can say that I work my ass off to be able to run this marathon. And the fact that I was maybe not gonna be able to do that because my body was just not responding the way that I wanted to, that broke my heart. But I knew that moment that I had a choice to make, and the choice was just took the pills, anti-diarrhea pills. I stayed as hydrated as possible. I drank a lot of water, electrolytes, and hope for the best. The next day at the marathon, my only goal was to finish it. I had a goal of like doing a 4:30. Okay, my super ideal goal was to do a 4-hour marathon or like a sub 4-hour marathon. And my run-up plan said that I was going to be able to do either 3:58 to 4:07, which I was totally fine with it. And I think that I'm capable of doing that. But as soon as I got to Paris and I felt the fever, that goal became of more of like, okay, maybe I'm going to do a 4:30 marathon. I think I can do that. I've seen other people that have kind of like the same physique that I have, the same training block that I did, are kind of like in the same fitness level. I think I can do a 4:30 if I'm not giving my best. And then after the night of just like letting it all out from down behind and like not being able to hold any food, I'm like, okay, the goal is just gonna be show up and finish this thing. I don't care if I have to walk it. I don't care if I have to crawl it. I don't care if I have to like beg someone to like drag me on the marathon course. But I'm not feeling my best. I'm food poisoning. I'm dehydrated. I've been having diarrhea for the past 3 days. I'm putting my health at risk just for this goal that I've worked so hard for. I do want to finish it, but I don't want to kill myself out there. That was the only rule. I'm going to finish it, but I'm not going to kill myself. At the point that this becomes dangerous, I'm just going to stop with the whole pain in my heart. But that was the game plan. We changed the game plan. I had the best night of my life. I was able to hold everything in. The anti-diarrhea pills worked. I wake up the next morning. I had some breakfast in the hotel. I was feeling good. I had some like bread and like eggs and like a little bit of fruit, coffee. I go into the marathon. The hotel was right there next to the marathon start line. I see that my friend Walter is already running. He's like an hour in. Me and Charlie had another wave start. So I met up with Charlie. Charlie goes to like these porta potties that were like really different in France. Like you kind of like is like mixed together, but it was like easier. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I did not see a porta potty where I can poop. Okay, so my stomach at the beginning, I don't know if it was the nerves or like, I don't know, but I felt like a. Even though in the hotel, I tried to do as much as I could. So I'm like, you know what? I don't see a porta potty. The line, there was one porta potty for like the whole wave. Like, there's like 55,000 people here. I'm not gonna make that line. I'm just gonna hold it in and hope for the best. And it wasn't that serious. It wasn't like the other days that I really needed to go. So I'm like, let's just power it through. We started the marathon. Me and Charlie stayed together for like less than a half mile. We stayed together for like, I don't know, 100 meters. Then he went flying. We were able to see some of our friends there in the course, my husband, and I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I have my playlist. I see the crowd. I see the buildings. Like, it's just like a dream come true. It was a dream come true for someone that comes from Latin America, that going to Europe was just like impossible. Getting a visa on my Ecuadorian passport for like to being able to go to Europe and do tourist stuff there was impossible with the income that my parents were making, with the no income that I was making in Ecuador. To now being able to be in this place, it was just a blessing. Now being able to run this thing that I trained so hard for, and to be my first marathon, my first 26 miles in this country, it was a dream come true. So I'm living the life. I'm living my best life. I'm seeing all these buildings. We passed through the Louvre. We passed through a lot of like awesome buildings and stuff. And I am taking pictures. I'm soaking in the moment. I'm living life. I'm with my playlist, and I see all my splits: mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, mile 4, mile 5, mile 6. Like mile 1, I was at like 9:19, mile 2, 9:52, mile 3 at a 10-minute, mile 4, 10:26, mile 5, 10:19, mile 6, 10:44. So for me that was good. For me that was good. As long as I didn't hit like 12-minute pace, I'm like, I can still make this as reasonable to my goal. Like, I'm maybe not gonna make a 4-hour marathon. I'm probably gonna make a 4:45 marathon, but I'll still be happy because I'm pushing, but I'm not killing myself. It comes to a point where I literally just go to like a 12-minute mile. I think this was 12-minute 39-second mile at the 18-mile mark. Now, I don't know where was this, because it was kilometers, so I was like lost in space trying to track kilometers and miles. But it came to the point where I was taking my gels through the course every 30-45 minutes. The gels that I use are very sweet. I have a sweet tooth. I love sweet things. I love Nutella. I could eat a pot of Nutella in one sitting. So my gels are sweet, and on my training I did fine. But hello, I didn't count that I was gonna have food poison and that I was gonna be expulsing everything the days before. So take more flavors just in case in your marathon, because you don't want to be running with food poisoning with a birthday cake and chocolate outrage flavor in your belt, because it's not fun. So I'm taking my gels because I don't want to hit a wall when I hit mile 20 something. I'm taking my gels. And you know, when you take your gels, even if you have a good stomach, it feels something. I took my gels and I immediately felt it. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I'm holding it in. We get to mile 18. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I really need a restroom. Bad, because this is getting bad. So I see a bunch of my friends on the course. I'm saying hi. It's so exciting to see them in another country cheering for you, supporting. So I decided to go to the restroom. I had enough toilet paper on my bed, on my running vest. So I go to a porta potty that was available, and I let it all out. I spend there for like 5 minutes. I'm trying to track on my watch, trying to not take a lot of time, but I go there, I let it all out. I'm feeling better. I used all of my toilet paper, and I go out. As soon as I put one foot in front of the other to start running, oh my God, I'm talking and my stomach is feeling, oh, the flashbacks. But as soon as I'm putting my foot on top of the other, I have to go again. I have to go again. But I'm like, first of all, I have no more toilet paper. And like, I have to keep running because otherwise I'm going to be stuck in that bathroom, like in the hotel for like 3 hours. So I need to keep running. So I'm running. I'm trying to change the music. I'm talking to people like, please, like distract me. I was talking to my friend Juliana. She was sending me voice notes. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't. This, my dad and my mom are like, are you dead? Like, what happened? Tell us. It was just, it was just mental at that point. I passed to the 35-kilometer mark. I don't know what is that in miles, but I just know that it was a big sign, 35 kilometers. So I'm like, okay, we're almost there. Like, not almost, but maybe like 12 more kilometers, 11 more. Not almost there, but 11 more. I can do 6 miles, right? I'm like thinking in my mind, I can do 6 more miles of this. I saw one of my friends. He has a video of me where I'm like, please just don't record. Like, I wanna give up. I'm thinking to myself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I'm talking to my friend Juliana, and she's like, she's tracking me all the way. She's in New York and she's tracking me online. And she's like, you have 6 more miles to go. You have done 6 more miles at Run Club every single day. You do Central Park. That loop is 6 miles. You can do this. You can do 6 miles in like 55 minutes if you put your mind into it. You can do 6 miles. You got this. You're about to finish. You got it. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Or it's just like a 5K and then another 5K. I can totally do it. I kept running and then I lost it. Then it wasn't like I had to go, but like the pain, I feel like I was about to give birth. I have never given birth, but it felt like that. I'm like, oh boy. It came to the point where I just started crying. I couldn't hold it anymore. Not the poop, but the tears. I couldn't hold the tears anymore. So I started crying like crazy. I'm crying, I'm defeated. And then it just came to the point where I started walking because the pain was too much, where if I kept on running, I was gonna have an accident over there, if you know what I mean. And I didn't want to have an accident. I know there's runners that they just poop on themselves and they keep on running and they do amazing times. But it's just a point where I don't want to get. I don't want to get to the point. I'm not built to be an elite athlete and have that type of experience because I really don't. I don't want to have that experience. If I can hold it in, trust me, I'm going to hold it in. So I'm holding it in as much as I can, trying to be brave, trying to power through, but it was just ugly at that point. It was just pain and like running 2 steps and then walking again because I was in pain and crying. And then I put this song, which is The Climb by Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, and just listen to the lyrics. And I'm like, yeah, there's always going to be another mountain that you want to make a move. Sometimes you're going to have to lose, and that's it. The life is a climb, but the view is great. And that was my climb. At that moment, I wanted to quit. I wanted to just leave, go in the woods and like do my business there because we were in the woods. But no, I had to finish this thing. And it was so isolated too because we were in the woods and there were no crowds. There were no fluid stations, no nothing. It was just you and your thoughts and people walking and people being defeated. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna walk it. And I'm crying because you can see it on the video. I'm crying because all of my dreams went away. All of my hard effort, all of the 22 weeks of training that I had for this Paris Marathon went away. All of the miles that I put in, all of the effort, all of the early mornings, the late nights, the cold runs in winter, the hot runs in summer, everything that I've worked so hard for, it went away. I felt like a failure at that moment. I felt like I failed my husband that came all this far just to support me and be with me on marathon day. I failed my friends that were supporting me on the course, that were taking trains, that were trying to navigate a different city just to be there at certain mile points just to give me water or like a gel. I felt that I failed them. I feel that I failed my family, even though they're not into running. I feel like they were gonna say like, yeah, my daughter tried to run a marathon and she couldn't even finish. I feel that I failed my run club because as a leader and as a founder, I felt that I needed to have this amazing marathon time in order to be worthy of a community, or just simply in order to be worthy of like the title of, yes, I have a run club. Because now the running community in New York is kind of like that. The faster you run, the more worthy you are of something. And if you are not super fast or you have this super amazing marathon times of 3 hours, you are not worthy of being a leader of a community and inspire people. And I had all these thoughts in my head, and I'm just crying, man. I'm just crying and walking, and I'm just like defeated. I'm like, I want this shit to be over. I want to go home. And then out of nowhere, everyone is talking on the group chat. I'm not even looking at the Goat Run Club group chat, my run club. Then I know for a fact my husband is at a restaurant. He is trying to get in line for the bathroom so I can go as soon as I finish. And then I just see a text message from Walter. Walter is my best friend and my co-founder for Goats Run Club. He texts me and he's like, I'm coming back for you. Where are you? He tracks my location and he's like, I'm coming back right now. I'm coming back. You're going to finish this. He finished his marathon in an awesome time, 3:40 something. He got his medal. He did the thing. He said hi to everyone. And then he ran back. I don't know if he took a train or he ran back. He took an, I don't know what he did. But he went back 10 kilometers back, 6 miles back in the woods to run with me. I see him and I'm like crying and walking. And he's like, it's okay. You got this. It's okay. I was holding his hand and I was holding his like arm and stuff when... I'm telling you, it felt like I was giving birth because I feel like contractions when the poop wanted to come out and I didn't let it come out. So I'm just like grabbing him like this, like, like I want to kill someone. He's like, it's okay. You got it. You're going to finish this. Let's run a little bit. He tried to push me a little bit, but I think it got to a point where he saw that I couldn't push myself anymore, where we were just walking. And it was nice because he asked for everyone in the run club to send a voice note or like text something for me in order to finish. And he was showing me and I was crying. It was like a very emotional moment. It was like a fever dream, to be honest. It was like a fever dream, but it was so wholesome to see the community that you built with someone, just support you and be like, it's okay, you got this, we just want you to finish and be safe, and like, you got this. Like, they know my potential and how hard I've trained, and they were just proud of me pushing through and going through that. It got to a point where we got to the city and there's more crowds, there's people cheering, there's people trying to run with me, there's people trying to push me. He has to go to the sidewalk at a certain point because people were like supporting. So the funny thing about the Paris Marathon is that in the brief you got your name. Walter didn't write his name. He wrote La Cabra Mala, which means the bad goat, but I put my name. So at one point I'm just like crying and walking and I'm like, 5 more kilometers, I'm not gonna finish this thing, never. I saw my split going from like, I was gonna finish at like 4 hours and 17 minutes and I was at like 5 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna finish this thing at like 6 hours. That's so sad for what I had planned and what I have trained for. And then 5 kilometers in left, I hear all these people being like, Ale Paula, Ale Paula. And I'm like, Ale. And I remember that Ale is like, let's go, vamos. So everyone is cheering and saying my name. And I'm just like, something came into me that I was trying to run or at least jog a little bit more. And you can see it. You can see it on my split. You can see it on my splits. I went from having like a 10-minute pace on the first miles. I was having a 14-minute pace, 15-minute pace, 18-minute pace, 20-minute pace. And that's just me walking. That's just me walking as fast as I can, guys. So, but it was electric. They call it the electric marathon de Paris. And I think it's for something because it got to a point where it was electric, seeing all those people cheering for me, seeing all those people in a different continent, in a different language, just cheering and saying my name. I felt like a superstar. I felt like Hannah Montana. I'm like, I'm ready to rock this shit. I wasn't ready, but I keep on trying. And it's the final stretch. I see the line. I see the red carpet where you walk. Everyone, then it felt like emotional again because I would have wished to cross that marathon line, finish line, being proud of like, yes, I finished this, but I crossed it, or more of like, I can't wait for this to be over and I need a restroom and I'm defeated. I jogged a little bit. One of my friends has a video of me finishing the marathon, which I didn't even see my friends. I jogged a little bit. I finished. I stopped my watch. 5:30 something. Man, I finished and I'm like, thank God. Now look for a restroom. I went to a porta potty. There was no toilet paper. If I didn't make a mess in the marathon, I'm not gonna make a mess in the post marathon. So I meet up with my friends and I'm like, guys, I love you. Yes, I'm crying. Yes, we're hugging. And I'm like, I need a restroom now. We ran to the hotel because the hotel was like 6 minutes walking, but it's crowded. There's a lot of people. So it's just a matter of like how fast we can go to the hotel. I see all my friends. I'm like, hey, congrats. I'm like, I really need to go. I go to the hotel bathroom and I spend in that toilet about like not 4 hours, I'm lying. But I was there for like a good 45 minutes to like an hour, I will say. I wasn't there and I was just there. And yeah, we didn't had a post marathon celebration because I was sick. I was still sick. I showered, I recovered, I was posting my pictures, talking to everyone, and I couldn't even eat. We were gonna go party and I was feeling good after the marathon because I let it all out, but we ordered Uber Eats like wings and stuff, and I took a bite and then everything went down again. But again, now a parenthesis, I didn't take the other anti-diarrhea pill that Charlie gave me in the marathon morning. Why? I was just scared of taking too much of that. And in the marathon course, I always run with my water vest and I have 2 water flasks. And I was drinking my 2 water flasks. I was drinking in the hydration station and I was refilling those and drinking those again. So I was overhydrating. Like I was so thirsty and I'm like, okay, the anti-diarrhea pill is you're supposed to keep it hydrated, but you're not supposed to take an anti-diarrhea pill and then run a marathon and lose all the electrolytes. Like, I just didn't want to go through that. Maybe it would have done me better, but I didn't want to risk my body going through that. But again, we ended up had to book another day in Paris just for me to recover because I did not want to go on the plane with that type of pain and with that type of emergency, just because you never know what's going to happen on an airplane. So we took another day. I reset, I recovered, and then we went back to New York and I got some chicken soup from my mom. And it's been more than a month since the Paris Marathon, but my body was still recovering. Not my muscles per se, they were sore and stuff, but my stomach, it took like 3 weeks to fully recover. And until now, sometimes if I eat something, like my stomach was not like this. I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. I'm terrified of going back to Europe, but it is what it is. I guess what I want to say with all of these things, marathon training and just in general in life, is that you can do a lot of things. You can plan, you can prep, you can do the best that you can, but life is just funny. And I don't know if you believe in God, but whatever you believe in is going to look at your plans and it's going to be like, no. And that's gonna happen. My marathon was a testament of what my life has been. I planned my life since I had recognition of like having a memory. I had this plan of like going to school, going to a good college, graduate, get a husband, get a good job in Ecuador, have kids, die. And then COVID happened, and then I have to drop out of school, being the library rat that I was, that I eat all the books that I could, and I was the valedictorian and all of these things. I had to drop out of school. I had to move to another country, work in things that I didn't want to work out. I had to met someone that I love, but he's from another country and is from another culture. He was born and raised in the US, but he's from Pakistan. We share different cultures, we share different things. And I started running even though I hated running. Like everything that I planned, it went away. It shift. So my marathon was exactly like that. And I've come to the point where I can say that I am so proud of my Paris marathon. I joke with everyone, and when everyone asks how is the Paris marathon, I'm like, "Ooh." But just because it was not a good experience for my body, but I am so proud I did that. I am so proud of myself. And I don't know about you, but I don't think a lot of people can say that they have finished a marathon with food poisoning when they had diarrhea and fever, and I don't think a lot of people can say that. So I am really freaking proud of myself and what I've accomplished. And I know this is just the stepping point. I know I take everything as a lesson. I know what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do. I'm probably gonna pack my cans of tuna and beans and rice to every country that I travel to run a marathon. But that is just me. This is just fuel to keep on going, to keep on achieving things. And there is not success without failure, and you have to learn that. And even if I haven't finished the marathon, it would have not been a failure, because just the thing of showing up and trying, just the thing of doing the training, just the thing of like risking something and going for it, anything that you do in life, that right there is success. Winning is not success. Trying is the success. But this feels pretty good too. Now, when you're hearing this, I probably already started my marathon training blog for the Mexico City Marathon. And I am so excited. I promise I am good with Mexican food. I love Mexican food. So I don't think that's going to be an issue there. The people are talking about the elevation, but they don't know I'm from Ecuador. They don't know I'm from Quito. They don't know I'm from Quito, so I know the elevation is not gonna be a problem. I'm ready for revenge, and I'm ready to enjoy the training process as well. But yeah, this was my Paris Marathon long debrief. If you're here, thank you for listening. Rate the podcast. Thank you for hearing this long episode. I'm pretty sure this was probably the longest one that I did. But yeah, I just wanted to document it for anyone that is struggling with marathon training, marathon goals, or just goals in life in general. I'm gonna leave all of my socials in the description box down below. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you for listening. Bye.